Time for a winter storm update with Chris's Corner. This is Thursday, January 28th. We're updating this right around 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon. It'll be pretty quick compared to others. Got a sick one here at home and need to rush back up to take care of him. But here's the very latest. All right, as you all know, I do like the Canadian models as a whole. You have to be careful. You can't just throw all of your eggs in one basket. But the Canadian in general tends to capture some things better, especially during the winter. What I've been waiting for is for the models to catch up to what the conceptual model of this type of situation would be, and that is a stronger mid-level center ejecting out of the plains and surviving as it moves eastward into the confluent flow, which is relaxing. Very similar to what happened during the December 23rd, 24th event, the Christmas Eve event, if you will, of 2002. That's exactly what's happened now on the Canadian. The regional Canadian has caught up to that thinking with a much stronger system emerging out of the plains into the Midwest. I really, really like the look of the system here now. This is what I was conceptualizing out of this type of system. In this type of configuration with the Vortmax down here over Arkansas, much stronger lift. It would be about 2 degrees, 1.5 to 2 degrees to the left of that track, so from southwest Missouri. And if we were to track this ahead in time, it would be shearing out as it approaches the Ohio Valley, but that would follow east and northeast along and south of areas of Interstate 70. So there are two things we have to consider. One, this is weakening as it moves east, and it's also going to have to contend with some very dry, low-level air, which will offset, if you will, the initial intensity of the system. You can see the reflection of the stronger system at 700 millibars. Relative humidity much higher further north to the Interstate 70 corridor. This also matches the conceptual model with the idea of the right rear quadrant of the 300 millibar jet stream enhancing downwind precip. So with the jet stream roughly in here at 300 millibars, you would expect there to be an enhanced area of lift, especially with that jet stream back building a bit to the south and southwest. So this area along and south of Interstate 70 still looks good to me for snowfall. If it were more moist and not quite as dry, it'd be more amped up about heavier accumulations. But right now, I think the dry air is going to cut into the totals. And you can see that here on the QPF, the precip output. We now have 5 millimeter plus reaching all the way up to Interstate 70, actually 2.5 plus all the way up to 270. And I'm going to use that as my leading edge of the actual snow field at this point. It's going to be very slow to penetrate to the north during the day on Saturday because of that dry air. Moving ahead in time, 12 more hours. You can see here at 500 millibars, the system is shearing out, but it's still there, so it's weakening. And in that weakening stage, the precipitation intensity to the left of the Vort track theoretically should be waning some, especially with the jet stream departing off to the east. Still getting a signal of that enhanced lift, although not as impressive, but still a pretty good area of moisture here at 700 millibars with a 700 millibar trough over eastern Missouri into southern Illinois. Obviously, the heaviest snow is going to be closer to the low-level thermal gradient, which will always remain to the south across southern Missouri into southern Illinois. What does this all boil down to? Boils down to I'm not changing my forecast really from what I had when I left the air yesterday. Still thinking the heaviest will be down south, southern Dent County into Iron County, Madison County, Fredericktown towards Cape Girardeau, 7 to 12 inches. 12 may be a little high, but 10 certainly is reachable for sure, and I think 7 to 12 is an average down to the south. There will certainly be some 1 foot amounts the closer to the Arkansas state line you get, but 7 to 12 for that southernmost tier of counties. So Fredericktown, Ironton, Lesterville over to the south of, probably near or just south of Salem in Dent County, 7 to 12. Further to the north, I still like a 4 to 7 inch band centered on a line from Rolla up through Cuba and Steelville and Bourbon and Potosi and Richwood, St. Genevieve County, St. Francis County, Perry County in Illinois, up into Randolph County in Perry County, Missouri, Randolph County in Illinois, and then extending east to the south near Rend Lake, southern side of Mount Vernon. Again, that area 4 to 7, even southern Jefferson County in the 4 to 7 inch range. Still going to keep that buffer zone along Interstate 70 in Missouri and along and south of Interstate 70 in Illinois of a dusting to 4 inches. I think the dusting will literally be right along Interstate 70 and quickly increasing into the 3 and 4 inch range as you work south into southern St. Louis County, northern Franklin County, and northern Jefferson County. So I think a dusting to 4 will cover the metro area pretty well. I was tempted to ease the dusting to 4 a little further to the north to account for the Canadian, which is quite bullish, moving the precipitation further north, but I decided not to because I need to respect that dry air to the north and think that the Canadian may be overdoing the northward push just a little bit. But I really like these numbers the way it looks right now. In summary, the highlights: snow should begin in southwestern Missouri and move into the viewing area after midnight tonight and into the morning rush hour tomorrow. I don't think it's into the metro until at the earliest noon tomorrow, and it may be later than that. We may have to wait until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon before we get any type of significant snowfall into the St. Louis area. It will be light for the most part, but occasionally there may be some moderate bursts of snow, and this is for the metro area. Light to occasionally a moderate burst of snow or two with liquid to snow ratios averaging 13 to 1. Obviously, it will be heavier as you work to the south. Snow overall should taper off to flurries beyond the evening rush into the wee hours of the morning. Wouldn't surprise me to see some accumulating snow lingering through midnight the way the latest models are showing. And finally, just in summary for the metro area, accumulations ranging from a dusting immediately along and just north of Interstate 70 and then pretty quickly picking up into the 1 to 4 inch range south through St. Louis County into Jefferson County. That's the very latest. Obviously, even a slight shift to the north would increase numbers again. Or if it's a slight shift to the south, if the dry air proves to be even a bigger monster, it will cut into the numbers even for our southernmost communities. But right now I really like the dusting to 4 inch wording that I'm using as a whole for the metro St. Louis area.